In 1956, an IKEA employee named Gillis Lundgren got frustrated at a photo shoot. The Lövet side table would not fit in his car, so he removed the legs. That single annoyed decision became flat pack. 68 years later, it is still the largest single cost advantage in the global furniture industry. And it is just the first of 4 moats stacked on top of each other. Pull any one out, and IKEA looks like Wayfair. IKEA looks like a furniture retailer. Around 480 stores, 60-plus countries, 47.6 billion euros in revenue, 950 million store visits per year. The income statement says retail, but the balance sheet, the operations, the corporate structure, all 4 moats say something different. IKEA is a logistics company that sells the right to spend 3 hours in a maze. The furniture is the distribution channel for the 4 advantages. Once you see them stacked, the whole industry makes sense. Moat 1, the flat pack. A flat-packed unit fits roughly 6 times more efficiently in a shipping container than the same item assembled. 6 times. Multiply that by every Billy bookcase, every Pax wardrobe, every Malm bed frame in the catalog. Ashley Furniture cannot retroactively flat-pack their existing catalog without redesigning every product. Wayfair has flat-pack adjacency online, but no funnel to push customers through. The 1956 Lundgren decision permanently put IKEA on a different unit economics curve from the entire furniture industry. Moat 2, the showroom maze. Average dwell time inside an IKEA store is approximately 2.5 hours. A typical big box retailer pulls about 35 minutes. The technique is called the Gruen transfer, after Victor Gruen's 1950s research into mall psychology. IKEA didn't invent the layout, but operationalized it more aggressively than any other retailer. The path is forced. There are no shortcuts unless you know the shortcut doors. The fatigue is engineered, not incidental. Moat 3, the food. The dollar hot dog has been priced at 50 cents to $1.50 in most markets for decades. Below cost. Restaurant operations run near break-even or marginally negative. IKEA serves around 660 to 720 million meals per year. That is a customer acquisition expense restructured as food. The hot dog converts a hunger-driven exit signal into a stay-longer signal. Costco runs the same playbook with their $1.50 hot dog combo. The food is not the business. It is the friction reduction at the friction point. Moat 4, the corporate structure. The brand IP sits inside IKEA Stichting, a Dutch foundation. Operating IKEA retail entities pay royalties to IKEA, typically 3% of sales. Because IKEA is owned by a non-profit foundation, those royalty payments do not flow back as taxable corporate dividends in any single jurisdiction. The European Commission has opened formal state aid investigations into the structure since 2017. Whether they ultimately rule against IKEA or not, the structure has compounded for decades. Walk a single Billy bookcase through the moats. Raw materials, particle board, melamine, hardware, about €8 at scale. Flat-packed and palletized, it ships at roughly €2 per unit because of the 6 times density advantage. An assembled equivalent would ship at around €12, so flat-pack saves approximately €10 per unit. Now multiply by 60+ million Billy units sold lifetime. That is roughly €600 million of pure shipping arbitrage on a single SKU. Across the full catalog, the number runs into multiple billions of compound savings. Now extend the model to the showroom. The customer who came for 1 bookcase walks the maze for 2.5 hours. Studies show every additional 30 minutes of retail dwell correlates with a meaningful basket size increase. By the time the customer reaches the warehouse aisle, they have a kitchen container set, a candle, a plant, 2 pillows, and a meatball receipt. The Billy was the bait. The maze was the conversion. The food was the retention. Now the foundation moat closes the loop. After the customer pays, IKEA Holding records retail revenue. IKEA pays licensing royalty to IKEA Holding. IKEA records the IP revenue inside the Dutch foundation structure. The royalty is a deductible expense at the operating company level and a foundation-held asset at the holding level. Tax efficiency. At scale, 4 moats, 1 bookcase. The combined unit economics are something no single strategy competitor can replicate without giving up 60 years of compounding. The replication test reveals the strength of the stack. Wayfair has logistics. They built a sophisticated dropship and warehouse network. They do not have a showroom funnel, so Wayfair customers have no engineered dwell time. Their basket sizes are smaller, and their conversion rates are weaker on impulse SKUs. Ashley Furniture has showrooms across America. They do not have flat pack. Their entire catalog is designed around assembled or partially assembled delivery, which means trucks ship more air than product. Their per-unit shipping cost runs higher, and their gross margin is thinner. West Elm and Article have brand and design. They do not have either showroom maze scale or flat pack discipline. They compete on aesthetic. Aesthetic is reproducible. Costco runs the same low-margin attention magnet pattern with food, same psychology. But Costco is not in furniture, and IKEA is not in groceries, so the comparison is structural, not competitive. Nobody else stacks all four. The closest analog is actually Aldi. Aldi runs the cheap food plus logistics plus ownership structure stack. But Aldi is not in furniture either. The four-moat retail logistics structure is unusually rare. Now here is the part that should worry IKEA competitors and reassure IKEA shareholders. Each individual moat is reproducible. A new entrant could engineer flat pack into their entire catalog. A new entrant could build a maze store layout. A new entrant could subsidize food. A new entrant could engineer a foundation tax structure. But the moats compound. 60-plus years of flat pack innovation produced a SKU library that competitors would need a decade to match. 60 years of maze refinement produced operational know-how that does not transfer through a consultant report. 60 years of below-cost food has built a brand association. IKEA equals cheap meatballs that no new entrant can purchase. And the foundation tax structure is increasingly contested by EU regulators, which means a new entrant building it today faces scrutiny IKEA never faced. The longer a competitor waits, the deeper the lead becomes, and the moats reinforce each other. The flat pack lowers the cost basis. The cost basis funds the maze investment. The maze drives the dwell time. The dwell time drives the food subsidy economics. The food subsidy drives the long visit. The long visit drives the basket size. The basket size funds the next round of flat pack engineering. It is a flywheel 4 moats wide. So strip the layers. Cheap furniture is not a moat. Anyone can copy a Scandinavian aesthetic. The moat is the system. Flat pack collapses the cost basis. The maze captures the customer for hours. The food converts the exit signal into a stay signal. The Stichting routes the resulting profit through tax-efficient channels. Each moat individually is reproducible. Stacked, they took 70 years to compound, and the longer a competitor waits, the deeper the lead becomes. The lesson: when a retail business looks unfairly cheap, look behind the price tag. Usually there are 3 or 4 engineered cost reductions you cannot see, all stacked, all reinforcing. That is the IKEA model. That is what the furniture is actually distributing.